Hi guys, so I thought I would go ahead and do my labor and delivery video while little one here is taking her nap. She's smiling. You see that? Cute. So, let's see. It started on Sunday night at about 3 a.m. So that would have been the 19th. And, uh-oh, are they gonna be fussy? Oh no! Okay. And I woke up to what felt like menstrual pains. And they were a little bit stronger than menstrual pains. So I went to the bathroom and I couldn't get rid of them. And I could tell that they were pretty close together. So I got into the, oh no. So I got into the bathtub and started timing them. And they were about 4 to 6 minutes apart. Some closer, some further apart. And I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment that day, that Monday anyway, at 8:30 in the morning to do an ultrasound. And this is going to be fussy. It's just sleeping. So I was supposed to have an ultrasound at 8:30. So I just kind of grudged, like, went with it, bared it down until about 6:30 in the morning. And decided it was probably a good idea to get about an hour nap in before I went to the doctor. So I like rolled around on my stability ball and took the bath and like they felt just like menstrual pains. So then I went into the doctor, had my ultrasound done. The ultrasound tech said I only had about a level 1 for amniotic fluid. And that apparently is really low, so there was pockets in there where there was no fluid. They thought that maybe my water had broken, but I never felt it break, and I wasn't aware of any leakage, but they assumed that I was just leaking it out pretty slow. So the doctor saw me. She sent me straight to the hospital. The OB was in the hospital, so I didn't have my stuff. We took my mom's car that morning, so we snuck back home, got all my bags, packed up all the rest of my stuff, and then went over to admissions in the hospital. They put me in a triage room, and the contractions at this point just felt like really, really strong menstrual pains, and they were bearable. Like, I was still talking through them, and like, she's out. She sleeps with her hand on her face. So we went over, they put me in triage, monitored my contractions. They were about 3 to 5 minutes apart, as they had been since about 3 a.m. that morning. They checked my cervix. I was only 1 centimeter and still only 50% effaced, so I really hadn't progressed at all since about 39 weeks, I think is when I had first gotten checked. So they put me on this cervical softening strip. So they stuck this like ribbon thing up there and attached it to my cervix to try to soften the cervix. That had to stand for 12 hours. So we just hung out for a few hours in triage, and because they didn't have any labor rooms available yet, they were still being cleaned. So we went to they came in and put an IV in my hand, and the first nurse really jacked it up and missed the vein, and I told her it was really painful, and so like an hour later they finally came and put a new one in, and now I have a bruise the size of like a baseball on my entire top of my hand is just bruised right now. Super painful, but the second IV was perfect and didn't hurt at all. So finally, after about being in the triage room for about 4 hours, they put me in a labor room. And at this point, it's probably like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't really get admitted until about maybe 10:30 a.m. So they let me labor on the cervical softening medication. They did give me some fentanyl to alleviate the pain, and that stuff kind of just made me loopy. Like, at first, the first 30 seconds, I was just seeing like 4 of everything because it just makes you super dizzy, and then it really, like, the pain was pretty much just gone. So the problem with the fentanyl is the first one will be really super powerful, It worked for about 2 hours, and then they start to not work so well. So the second dose only lasted about an hour and a half. The third dose only lasted about an hour. So I made it until about 9 o'clock that night, and finally I said, okay, fentanyl's not working that well anymore. It's only lasting about half an hour, so can we go ahead and do the epidural? And so I told my parents I just wanted to wait until 10 o'clock. I wanted to at least labor a little bit on my own. Made it till about 10 o'clock, told him I wanted the epidural. The anesthesiologist came in about 10:30 and the epidural was done, like, immediately. So, and the epidural was not painful. The local anesthetic kind of felt like a prick, and then it burned a little bit, and that was it. Like, I was kind of expecting it would be painful, and it wasn't. And then there was one kind of painful part, and it was like, I don't know what they were doing, but they were like, okay, you're either going to feel it burn down the middle, or the right or the left side. Tell us which side it burns. And I'm like, okay, middle, 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 middle. And that lasted about 10 seconds. That was it. So, hello, boobs. Sorry. So the epidural was done by 11, finished at 11. And I slept all night. Like, I could not feel a darn thing after that, and it was fantastic. So I was just joking around, doing my makeup. It's 11 o'clock at night. We decided we were going to go to bed because they took the softening strip out, and I had only released effaced to like 80%. I was still only 1 centimeter. So they started me on the Pitocin at 12 o'clock, midnight, and they started it. They go up to, I think it's 20 mil per hour, but they started me at 2. And they came and checked me about every 3 hours, I believe. Yeah, they came and checked me at 3 a.m. and then 6 a.m. and then 9 a.m. So at 3 a.m., I was only at a 2, almost 3. And at 6 a.m., I was still at about that. And then at 9 a.m., I was fully ready to go. Oh no, where'd your pinky go? So then at 9 a.m., they had the, oh goodness. They started getting the labor room ready for delivery, called the doctor, and had me start pushing at about 10:45, doing the practice pushing, I guess is what you would call it. So maybe it was 9:30 by the time they really checked me. Yeah. So then at about 10:30, 10:45, they started getting the delivery room all ready to go. 2 nurses were in there just kind of getting me to push, getting her closer to the hole. And then doctor came in. I pushed for like 15 more minutes, and she was out. And the epidural pretty much made it painless. So that was about it. I mean, it was a long labor, but really short delivery and not very painful because of the drugs. So the drugs make you a little loopy, but that's fine. So as just kind of a couple of things. So I did tear a little bit on the inside. Only needed about 3 stitches, I think. And then, yeah, so I only needed 3 stitches. And it was not that bad. You didn't feel anything because of the epidural. Obviously, you deliver the placenta after the baby. And it came pretty quick. She just kind of yanked it out. I was like, oh gosh, I thought that kind of came out on its own. But so that was pretty much it. It was pretty boring, like I said on a couple of my comments. She's getting hungry. So yeah, that's it. Kind of as an after note. Oh goodness. The cramping afterwards in the postpartum room was, when you're breastfeeding, is really, really painful. And my feet were swollen still for a while. So once your epidural wears off, make sure that you are getting some pain medication if you're going to breastfeed, because it was extremely, extremely painful. And I kind of wish that I would have just taken the Percocet and the Advil that they had recommended right away, instead of going, oh no, I feel fine now, but then as soon as the epidural wore off, I was in some pretty big pain, more so than the contraction pain. So there's that, and you will bleed a lot for the first couple of days, for about the first 2 days, and then you just it's just kind of a regular bleed after that. And I guess you continue to bleed for a couple of weeks, so we're still fighting that. Anyway, everything was all good. I will post some clips from my labor. We're hoping that some of the delivery got on video, but one of my camera messed up during the delivery, so hopefully we can save it on the flash card. If not, like I said, it was really quick and really boring. I pushed like maybe 24 times, maybe that. So yeah, that was pretty uneventful. The labor was actually more fun because I was just pretty high on drugs, so I was saying some pretty crazy stuff. So I'll try to get some of those clips up in a separate video. Anyway, like I said, I will do kind of an overview of what I used in my hospital bag, and hopefully get that up here in the next day or so. And she's asleep again. Their little hand up by her face. So I apologize because I'm trying to multitask here. So I'll do the hospital bag, and then if you guys have any other questions, just leave a comment below and I'll try to respond. You will end up with hemorrhoids, just so you know, and they're not painful, but they're annoying. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the most eventful thing. Really, there was only about 3 to 4 people in my delivery room, and yeah, it was so fast. I was really shocked, actually. I thought that you were supposed to push a lot longer, but she came out pretty quick. Anyway, I will see you guys for my next video. Say bye, Laura. Bye-bye. Hi, guys.